Now part 2 of this video on Saint Seiya gods. We now start with the Olympians and Hades. We begin with the first enemy of Athena, Poseidon. Poseidon's army, donning armor known as scales, easily defeated the armies of Earth. In time, Poseidon even built a fortress the size of a continent named Atlantis, known for having impenetrable walls. But Athena amassed her own army of warriors, with armor even greater than that of Poseidon's soldiers. Still, Poseidon did not stop, but instead caused typhoons and earthquakes in order to defeat Athena. However, Athena sent 8 of her greatest soldiers, known as saints, to invade, and so they did. They crushed Atlantis and sunk it. At their most powerful, the gods are vastly above their human warriors, who themselves are mighty. Warriors whose power and techniques have the power to destroy galaxies and even universes. Warriors can at times tap into a power comparable to that of the gods, known as miracles. One miracle was performed by the goat saint Capricorn Shiru by surpassing the initial speed of the Big Bang, making him immensely beyond the speed of light. A god would casually be able to perform same such action. And now is a good enough time to discuss higher senses. The 7th sense is achieved after mastering the other 6. Mastery over this allows for superhuman abilities and an amplified cosmos. Cosmos itself is the energy of the universe that can be harnessed to destroy atoms, which is everything in the universe. Knowledge and training for humans to harness the power of cosmos or achieve the 7th sense. But in doing this, they are granted much power and the ability to move at minimum the speed of light. 8th sense, control over one's body even in the realm of the dead. Divine sense, big will, or 9th sense, often this is called a divine force brought on by the creation of the universe. It allows for gods to transcend humans on a cosmic scale. The natural power of the gods, even while possessing a much weaker human form, is still greater than that of elite human warrior. We see this in battle against Poseidon in the modern era. At Atlantis are pillars that hold the 7 oceans. They were so tough, it required forbidden weapons to destroy them. The ministry of Poseidon itself was said to be able to survive the destruction of the universe. Diana was completely paralyzed by the presence of Poseidon. He then casually drains her of cosmos. A casual burst of power was enough to destroy the army of Seiya, who previously reached the level of a goat saint, causing his armor to transform. Poseidon easily redirected the arrows of Sagittarius, being shot by Seiya, that was likely aided by the will of the goat saint Aeolus. He was only struck when the other bronze saints aided with their cosmos. When Poseidon awoke, he became even more connected with his divine power, growing so strong his cosmos would encompass the entire universe. By the way, there's a mistranslation in the very flawed Viz Media version. Sadly, those translations range from acceptable mistakes to laughably incorrect. It said almost encompasses the entire universe. That's wrong. His cosmos was encompassing the entire universe. Now Hades, god of the underworld, the ruler, creator of the realm of the dead. He commands his army of 108 specters and generals, the rivals of the goat saints. As explained before in the previous video, 2 gods are under his command. Hades' power is immensely above them all. Hades created an area of effect around an entire castle where nothing can grow or live, and saints, no matter their strength, have their cosmos reduced down to 10%. Hades prefers not to attack directly and leaves his true body inside another universe. Like his brother Poseidon, Hades possessed a human body, but even in this newly possessed body, Hades still had great power, as shown by his ability to rearrange an entire solar system. In his true body, he faced god-cloth saints, who were powerful enough to kill the god of death in a single attack. With a simple telekinetic force, he easily pushed back the Saint, and with a single strike, he badly shattered Godcloth armor. In an alternate universe, Hades defeated multiple Godcloth Saints, and even Athena in Shun's body alone, only bearing his sword. Should be noted, Athena likely never donned her Godcloth, and Hades admits the strongest saint, Phoenix Iki, held back. Still, he damaged Godcloth armor and killed Godcloth warrior, which is a testament to the power of gods once they're in full control. It was only ever hurt by Seiya, and was only defeated by the combined cosmos Godcloth saints, Godcloth Athena focusing their might into her staff, piercing and killing the god. When Hades fell, so did all his worlds. And I will break down all his worlds and explain why that's so impressive. Ellipsian, an infinite dimension inhabited by the twin gods and nymphs. To enter this world, you must travel through the hyperdimension, a dimension made of billions of galaxies. General was instantly destroyed by coming close to this space. To enter here, humans must first destroy the Wailing Wall that separates the hyperdimension from the underworld. The power that was needed to destroy this was the combined might of 12 gold saints burning their cosmos to its limit and unleashing it through the arrow of Sagittarius, as well as creating the light of the sun. The combined might alone would not have been enough to destroy this barrier. Putting this into context, this power is greater than Athena exclamation, a forbidden technique that creates power of the Big Bang in a single location. It is beyond the might of saints who have multi-galactic to universal feats. Simply put, the durability of this wall, which, like all things, are made of Hades' will, is at least universal. The Acheron River that separates the world of the living and the dead, the location where Hades resides, where planets can be seen, and the 9 prisons of hell, where mortals are punished. When a saint was sent to one of these dimensions, it was described as being beyond space-time and possibly light years in distance. Also, the mysterious world between life and death, known as Shadow of the Underworld. While this place is before the Arcane River, Hades' will still resides in this area. Hades' will kept all these worlds together while still rearranging the solar system in the living world. Needless to say, this is an incredible display of range and power. There's also the king of the gods, Zeus. Little is known of this great god, but what we do know is his power is beyond his brothers, and he faced the god Chronos, who can destroy timelines in the Saint Seiya multiverse. Now, the primordial gods, conceptual beings of the Saint Seiya Universe, starting with Puntos, the primordial god of oceans. After being freed, the god conspired with Saga and Chronos to bring back the Titans. He is more powerful than all Titans barring Chronos, and has full control over his dunamis, which again is the ability to create, manipulate, and destroy atoms at a subatomic level. The much weaker being, Iapetus, used his dunamis to expand his universe infinitely. Puntos uses his power of water to create a physical projection of himself that was powerful enough to easily defeat the Saint of Leo. Toying with the Leo goat saint, he forces the saint to kneel before him. The god casually detaches his arm on a subatomic level using his dunamis. The saint was saved by the goat saint Libra bearing sacred golden weapons. Multiple saints faced the god, he still felt they were of no threat to him, and only leaving of the behest of Gemini Saga. Puntos, unlike the other titans and gods, has no weapon, but he does not need it, for he dons an armor known as Ares Magna, armor possibly greater than any armor that has ever been seen in the series. Puntos also has various other abilities. He can project himself through the blood of others. He can manipulate the bodies and memories of even the titans. He can control and enhance the powers of others by leaving a mark. By manipulating water, he can somewhat see the flow of time in the future. Like other gods, his blood is special. It even brought statues to life. Mother of Titans and creator of the god Uranus, who formed the earth and sky. Later in lore, Gaia wanted revenge over her son Chronos. She conspired to kill Zeus, so she bared a child with the being Tartarus, which created a god so large his body crushed mountain, and so powerful the other Olympians fled in fear. Even Zeus was first defeated by this mighty beast, but somehow he defeated Typhon. And finally, the most powerful entity in the Saint Seiya Universe, the personification of time itself, Chronos. In the official wiki, he is known as the god of all time-space. That is, all of time, past, present, and future, of every universe in this. He is shown as a non-corporeal dimension that, if angered, would shatter the body of his enemies light years throughout the universe. Athena, even in her divine armor, was helpless against him, even having her body turned into a baby. Now to an interview. The creator of Saint Seiya, Coronel, details the plans for this character. Chronos is not only the god of all time and space, he is the god of all existence and creation. When I created him, I said to myself, I need a god who is above all. I need a god who is the embodiment of everything. I do not wish for him to be omnipotent, but one who is above all abstract concepts, without a physical form or spiritual form. I have even wanted a god who transcends all concepts, above concepts. Chronos started all. He made a Big Bang. Even so, it was a very special Big Bang. He was the first Big Bang that would become the first creation of the first existence. Thus, the first to set off a great multitude of parallel universes. If I had to describe Chronos, Chronos would be a being who has been close to all powerfulness without being omnipotent. I needed such a character that would go beyond anything. A being that goes beyond all existence. A description for the most powerful character in the Saint Seiya universe. I will end this with detailing the other abilities of the gods and their overall stats. They would of course have the abilities of any human, such as flight and illusion. They are immortal. Even if their body and soul are destroyed, they will simply go into a sort of slumber until they resurrect. Hades' sword can prevent any form of resurrection. In another world, he pierced the heart of Seiya with his sword, sending him into a world of nothingness where there is no escape. It only makes sense that the gods, possibly greater than Hades, such as Puntos, can perform the same action. Cross-dimensional, universal, travel, and attack. Of course, Thanatos, attacking from Elysium to Earth. Also, multiple characters traveling time and the universes, and even saints who can attack from other universes. The blood of the gods has a unique effect on humans. Not only does it heal wounds and restore cosmos, it also grants resistance to basically anything, including destiny. When the Saint Capricorn Shiryu was under the effect of the world, becoming once again a minion of Hades, Athena leapt through time and space and history to save him, allowing him to revert back to his normal self. Now the overall stats of characters in this video and the previous one. Weaker giants and gods are range from around continent to planet level. Twin gods and Sick guard at least universal. The strongest giants universal. Titans under 2 seals multi-galactic. 1 seal universal. No seals multiversal. Chronos high multiversal. The Olympians and Hades range from around multiversal to multiversal plus. Zeus specifically being high multiversal. The primordial gods multiversal plus. And of course Chronos high multiversal. Non-gods that scale. anyone donning a god cloth scales to low multiversal. Possibly even the legendary bronze saints without gold cloth or low multiversal via surviving attacks from god cloth saints. Leo Allia for facing Chronos and surviving attacks from titans with amplifications should scale to at least universal plus to possibly low multiversal. Mylia, Shiru, Camus scale to multi-galaxy facing the strongest giant together. Shaka scales to universal via fighting one of the strongest giants alone, as well as defending himself against a very powerful titan, somewhat being able to paralyze and hurt the transformed titan with Tenbu Horan. At least puts his technique at high universal to possibly higher. Sagittarius Aeolus surviving the attack from a Zeus possessed Elio and killing him puts him at low multiversal in gold cloth. And that's it. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, have a video request, or have corrections, please be free to tell me.